The next stage to our cake decorating is coloring our buttercream. We've made our beautiful Swiss meringue buttercream, and now we're going to get ready to color it. And we have food colors, which are the gel paste, and what we're going to use. This is the cake we're doing, and we're going to do a rosette on the top as our rose. We're going to do leaves, and we're going to color a blue background. It doesn't have a border, so we're going to have to edge it and finish it very nicely. What we want to do is we want to match this color of this cake perfectly. And that's really something that's a challenge for cake decorators, in my opinion. We can do the cake in the colors we love, but it's really not about what we love necessarily, unless it's our birthday cake. What we want to be able to do is, if we have a customer come in or a guest that says, this is the exact cake I want you to make for me, and these are the perfect colors, then you have to know how to actually recreate the cake. So we're going to do that, and less is more when we're using food coloring. It's better to start out too light. What happens is when we color our icing, it actually does get a little darker as it sets. So we want to realize that and recognize that when we're coming in to make our light pink, kind of our baby blue, and our leaf green. So I have those colors here. I have a pink, I have a green, and a blue. And so we're going to start doing that, and I have containers, and I have spatulas. So I'm going to mix it. And really, if I look at it, I don't need a whole lot. I need more blue, a little less pink, and just a little bit of green. So I'm going to start with my green. I don't need that much, because I just need some leaves to my rosettes. So here's my green, and I'm going to start out with, I do it by drops. I'm going to do 2 drops, stir this in, let's see what I get. It's always better, I can't stress it enough to go lighter than it is to go too dark and then be like, oh, I only have so much buttercream and I need to make this work. Right, you got to incorporate it really well. Pretty close. I know it's going to sit and go a little darker, and I need to recognize that. As you can see, here I am coming in, and I'm making sure. Sometimes you'll see some swirl and there's a little bit on your spatula. Get that all incorporated. And I actually like, sometimes if it's a little variegated and the color isn't absolutely perfect, nature is not perfect and nature is random. So I'm a big believer in not doing it necessarily for perfection unless that's really what the cake is requiring. And so I think I'm pretty close. So there's my green, and here's my picture. And so I think, I'm going to hold this up just like this. So my green is pretty close to the green I'm looking for. And it's going to sit and get a little darker, so I'm okay with that. The next I'm going to do, so I'm going to put you aside. We're going to do blue. And I need a lot of blue because I'm going to finish the cake with it. And you always have to realize when you do this cake, how many drops did it take and pretty much what size buttercream. Because if you run out, you got to know how to get the same color. So I'm going to add this here. Leave enough for my pink. My green, and I'm going blue, and I'm going baby blue, so this is more getting the lid off is a challenge. Oh, I got it. Here we go. Oh, there we go. So I did 3 drops. Start adding this in, incorporating this really well, and I want light blue. And light blue, you know, it goes just darker as you add more. So I'm going to start stirring this. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to come back and show you the color that I'm going for, and I'm going to let you see it too. We're going to load our bags with the colors that we've created. So I have just my white Swiss meringue buttercream, and it's just the base color. I made the leaf green, and then I have the pink for my roses, and I have the blue for the base of my cake, which I think I matched pretty well. I think it's going to get darker. So I have 4 bags because I have 4 colors, and white being one of them. And what we're going to use, these are decorator tips, and decorator tips use couplers. And couplers allow us to come in and change the tip, because actually once this is in the bag, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works, it sets inside and then locks on it, and you can change, you can keep your colors, change the tip, and it's what makes it a decorator versus a pastry tip. And they're much smaller, and they do all sorts of different things. You know, we use leaf tips. What we're going to use is number 40, so we're going to do a round, and that's at a number 4 size. We're going to use the number 32 star, which we're going to make our roses with our pink. And number 32 is across the board American cake decorating. It's your borders, it's rosettes, it's so many different things. And this is the round, which is the 4. And then we're going to use the classic leaf tip, and the leaf tip is a number 69. And we're going to load these all in our bags with our colors. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to cut my tip off because I'm going to lock a coupler in here, and I'm going to roll it down. Show you how I do it. Roll it down, and they have little tops that go to them that's going to screw over the top. I'm going to load my coupler inside my bag, and then I'm going to load it with green. Roll it down. I don't need a lot of green, so I'm going to load it with green because this is for my leaves. Okay, get it all in there. Drop that down. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my number 69, which is my leaf tip. I'm going to show you up close, and you can see it there. Better that way. And I'm going to drop it on the outside of it, and then I'm going to come in and screw this down over the top. And it locks itself right on there, and you can see that. And then it's ready, and then I can change the tip but still have the color in the bag. You don't have to go through so many bags. So I'm going to do that with all of them. The pink is the rose tip, the number 32. The blue is going on the base of the cake, so it doesn't need anything. And the white, we're going to put a coupler in because we are using the number 4 to pipe the small pearls that are going to go onto the cake. We're going to trim the top of our cake again, just like we did last week, and I'm going to show you the same exact technique that I want you to follow every time. Hand on top. I wear gloves with this cake because it's so moist and dense. I don't like the sticky on my fingers. I do have a container because I want to save the top that I trim off is a great Scooby snack. It could be my lunch today for all I know. Or it's a cake pop, right? So total utilization. We don't want that to go to waste. And so that could then be a product that you could resell in your bakery. Cake pops being something you can really repurpose a lot of cake with. So again, I have my serrated blade. I'm going to put my hand on top, and I'm going to go right where you can see the cake kind of rose up a little bit. I'm going to come in and again start cutting, hand on top, and I'm going to run it all the way around. And really the blade stays very much in line with the cake. I'm not turning it or sawing across it. I'm letting the turntable do a lot of the work, and this hand is pretty much turning it with my knife staying in the same direction the whole time. No fingers or digits anywhere near that knife or that blade. Parchment underneath, and I like that to catch all my crumbs. This is a pretty rich, dense, dark chocolate cake, and I'm going to come straight across. Oop, and there it is. It's perfect. So that is going to be the bottom part to my cake. We're going to start putting our chocolate cakes together to start our cake decorating techniques. So that is where we're the next step for us. So I'm going to use my off-white. I have a coupler set inside, but I don't have a tip on because I don't need one because I really just want the round tip to be able to pipe with right now. Get icing onto my cake. We're going to do a crumb coat first. We're going to fill with the buttercream, and we're going to crumb coat with the buttercream. And I'm just going to use the off-white because I can. I have my blue that's set to go to finish it with, but I'm going to use this as well. So I've piped a little on there, and I'm going to set one of my cakes on. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to fill this with buttercream. It's going to be my center. So I'm going to use my turntable and let it do the work for me. Right over that, and nobody's going to see this middle, so I'm not really worried about it. Bring it right to the edge. There we go. Come in here, and if I go a little over, I'm good with that. I'm going to let the turntable do my work. I want to make it nice and level because I need the cake to be level. And so it's important to start out that way. There we go. I have my next cake. Where are you? There you are. Okay, and I'm going to take this cake, and my bottom becomes my top, which I like very much because he's nice and flat. He's set to go when he's in there. And then I'm going to use the rest of my buttercream. I have a little bit more here I'm going to add to it. And I'm going to put a crumb coat on. Chocolate can be a bear, so because of the crumbs, and they really stand out. So what I want to make sure of is that I get all those chocolate crumbs locked on before I'm going to come back and finish it in my blue. Get all that in there. Just a little bit I have left. Burp it a little. Oop, there we are. There's my burp. And like I said, it's a lot of burp. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to put a little on the top. The rest of my buttercream here. And I'm going to come in And just like I've done, I'm going to run a bead. And my last drop of it on there. There we go. Good enough. So I'm going to come in here and use my offset. I'm just going to lock the top on. I'm not going to worry about the crumbs. We're going to hide those. I'm going to come in here and move this buttercream back and forth and really just edge it super nice. I'm not trying to do a finishing coat. I'm just locking those crumbs on. So I want a little buttercream all over. It's certainly going to bring it down from those edges. So then I'm going to grab my bench knife. I've got this worked all the way around. I'm going to use this buttercream on my cake. I don't want to waste it. And I'm going to finish with my bench knife. I'm going to come in and I have a little on my cardboard. I want to get that off. I don't want it on my cardboard. I want it on my cake. And I'm just once again going to come in with a nice level bench knife. And I'm going to push against the cake. So I'm locking in all those crumbs. You can see it do it. I don't mind the cake showing for me. And I have a little extra buttercream I want to go in and use. And then I'm going to come in here. Oh, I need this guy right here. Because like I said, every time I use my bench knife, I like to wipe it off every time. And I'm going to come across here and wipe it neat and clean. You can see I have a little edge to it right there. That edge is what I'm going to come across nice and gently and really make sure I'm holding it. Oh, I got that all the way off there. I don't want to come across. I want to take this edge right here and just bring it right across. And what that's allowing me to do is clean up a nice angle on this cake and also get my surface nice and flat. Because what if I were going to stack cakes? Well, you need it to be absolutely eminently as level. Right, and there I go again. And I can see I have one more spot where I'm just going to come in. So this is my crumb coat. You can see I've locked it on really well. I've cleaned up my cardboard, which I like to leave that nice and clean. And like I said, I just come in here and get this out of your way. And I just hold it down and it picks up any buttercream that then's on the cardboard. And we want the cardboard to be nice and neat and clean because we really want the cake to be the showpiece that we're working on. So I'm going to get this very cold. That buttercream's going to set and then we're going to come in and we're going to finish it in our blue and then do our rosettes and finish it with our leaves. Oh, and we have pearls to put on too, so that's next.